morning to one and all. This is Dr. P. Lavanya, working as Associate Professor in MBA Department in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. So today's video we'll see related the problems which we face in the break-even. That is important formulas already we have seen in the last videos. Along with that, we'll see a sample examples of the BEP problems, that is the break-even problems, which will come in case of problematic point of view, or maybe in case of solution, maybe like case studies point of view. So we'll get some important problems and the formulas in this video. So the first problem we can say like you are required to compute, means you're asking to calculate break-even point. MOS means margin of safety, and next one margin of safety ratio, and it itself is asking about the sales at a profit of 10,000 by utilizing the following information, means asking to calculate the sales when the profit is 10,000 rupees. So for that we got an information relating to the selling price was 3 lakhs and a variable cost was 2 lakhs and fixed cost was 70 and profit was 30,000. So now we see what's the solution we can get under these. So in case of solution, we have the following important things of the problem. That is, first one is sales, which is 3 lakhs and variable cost is 2 lakhs, fixed 70 and profit was 30. So when I want to calculate the break-even point by above information, we have the formula of fixed cost by PV ratio. Fixed cost by PV ratio. So if we are able to calculate the PV ratio, we can go. Or otherwise, we can see having alternate formula like contribution by sales into 100. So already we know what is the contribution. Contribution equal to sales minus variable cost. So here the sales was 3 lakhs and variable cost was 2 lakhs. So we are able to get 3 lakhs minus 2 lakhs and our contribution C equal to 1 lakh rupees. So we have got this saying that break-even point is 1 lakh rupees. Or we can say like contribution by sales into 100. So what is we got? 1 lakh into, as we know, contribution by sales into 100. So contribution is 3 lakhs minus 2 lakhs, that is 1 lakh, which is divided by variable cost, that is contribution by sales into 100. What is sales? 3 lakhs into 100. Then you are able to get 33.33% or maybe 1/3 of the total. Means BEP PV ratio is 33.33%. Now we'll see having the formula like we have fixed cost by PV ratio. Already the PV ratio is 1.3. So, or we can call like 1/3, and where we have the fixed cost is 70,000. So we can have 70,000 by 3/1. So we cross multiply 70,000 by 1/3, where we can say like 3/1. We are able to get the 2,10,000. Means break-even point when you want to calculate by utilizing the PV ratio. For PV ratio, we have contribution by sales and we got the PV ratio is 33.33 or 1/3. So when I inserted the PV ratio by fixed cost by PV ratio, we are able to get the 2,10,000 rupees. So BEP, break even, is 2,10,000 rupees. And the second bit to be calculated is, one is BEP. Next one is margin of safety. So margin of safety, we have a formula of actual sales minus BEP sales. Already what is an actual sales? We have 3 lakhs is the actual sales which we got in the problem. So given sales is 3 lakh. And we ourselves has been calculated what is break even sales, 2,10,000. So actual sales 3 lakhs and break even sales is 2,10,000. So we are able to get 90,000 as a margin of safety. So we are at safe side, means organization no profit, no loss point is 2,10,000, but its revenue is 3 lakhs. So what is the margin of safety? How far the organization is safety, means it is 90,000 rupees. It is at the safe side. Maybe we'll get a little bit of any differentiation or any sort of calamities also. The organization will be safe until it can sell for 90,000. Next question we have is margin of safety ratio. So when this margin of safety divided by sales into 100, that is MOS. Margin of safety, when it's divided by sales into 100, you will get margin of safety ratio. So margin of safety is 90,000 and the total sales was 3 lakhs. When 90,000 divided by 3 lakhs into 100, then we are able to get the 30%. The ratio of margin of safety is 30%. Means for every 100 units of the production, organization will achieve or get a profits or at a safe mode of 30%. So another question we have asked is sales required to earn a desired profit of 10,000. Means when organization want to earn 50, that is 10,000 rupees, how much sales that organization has to be sell in the market. So for that estimated sales, when I want to get some estimation of the sales, the formula is fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. So in this problem, we have a fixed cost is 70 plus whatever profit we required here is 10,000. So what profit organization want is 10,000. Already we have been identified what is this PV ratio 1 by 3rd. So we are able to get 80 by 1 by 3. We are able to get 2 lakhs. That is 80,000 by into 3 by 1. We are able to get 2,40,000. Means if organization want 10,000 rupees of the profit, extra profit more than BEP, then it has to sell 2,40,000 rupees as profit. So for the above given problem, we have found the solution as we got break even, that is we can say like fixed cost by PV ratio, we got BEP as 2,10,000 and we got margin of safety as we have seen like margin of safety like 90,000 and we have the margin of safety ratio. We also calculated the margin of safety ratio, that is 30,000. Yes, that is 30,000 and we are able to see the profit for 2 lakh, for 10,000 we are able to get 2,40,000. So for this calculation we also calculated PV ratio, which is 1 by 3rd percentage of profits. So with the help of these break-even formulas, we are able to solve the above problem. So the same we can identify with another problem saying that you are required to compute BEP point, margin of safety ratio, and also you are able to get a profit of 10,000 rupees. So we see the solution for these same whatever they have been asked, like when the sales was 3 lakhs and the variable cost whatever we have is 2 lakh 40, fixed cost is 30 and we are getting the profits of 30,000. First we go for calculation of BEP. BEP means fixed cost by PV ratio. So for that we should calculate PV ratio, where PV ratio is contribution by sales into 100. So to get the contribution we want sales minus variable cost. Sales minus variable cost is contribution. So sales here is 3 lakhs and we have variable cost of 2 lakh 40,000 and we got the contribution of 60,000. So contribution is equal to sales minus variable 3 lakhs minus 2 lakhs 40, what an 60. And when you want to go for PV ratio, that is contribution by sales into 100. So contribution whatever I got is 60,000, sales is 3 lakhs rupees which was given in the problem and divided by 100 you are able to get PV ratio is 20%. So whatever we want to get for calculation of this break-even point, it is 20%. Next, so when I want to calculate the break-even, as we know that fixed cost by PV ratio, we have the fixed cost of 30,000 rupees. So 30,000 divided by the 20%, maybe we'll get 100 by 20. So 30,000 divided by 20%, which means 30,000 into 20% means 100 by 20. We are able to get a break even, that is no profit and no loss point was 1,50,000. So first when we calculate the break even, then we are able to identify what is the margin of safety. So margin of safety means the formula we have actual sales minus break even sales. Already we got BEP sales as 1,50,000 and actual sales which was given in the problem was 3 lakhs. So 3 lakhs minus 1,50,000, we have the margin of safety is 1,50,000. So after calculating this margin of safety, then we go for going the margin of safety ratio, which was as usual, that is margin of safety by sales into 100. And we have the margin of safety 1,50,000, actual sales is 3 lakhs into 100, we are getting 50%. Means the organization was a safe side with the 50% of profits. Then the question asked is to calculate the sales when you want to earn a desired profit of 10,000. Means sales required. If in this situation when BEP is 1,50,000 and margin of safety is 1,50,000, so what type of sales we can go when we want to get a profit of additional 10,000. So for that we have the formula of fixed cost plus desired profit. So fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. Already fixed cost is 30 and a desired profit what they want is 10,000. Now we'll have 40,000 into 100 by 20. We are getting 2 lakhs rupees. Means if we sell 2 lakhs of rupees additionally, we are getting 10,000 rupees of profit. So this is a short description relating to the analysis which was provided in the second problem. Now we'll see the different pattern of problem which will give in to calculate the break-even point, sales to earn a profit of 20,000, profit when sales are 1,25,000. So for that here, simply he has given years, sales and profits. So he didn't give the other information. He has given 2 years, that is 2001 and 2000 sales. That is 1 lakh is 2000 sales and 15,000 is 2000 profit. And at the same way 2001, 1 lakh 20 is the sales and 23,000 is the profit. Means here given in a different pattern saying that 2 years sales and 2 years profits were given. So based upon this information, he was asked to compute what is a break-even point and sales requires to earn a profit and profit when sales are 1,25,000. So for this we have a different formula to calculate the PV ratio. So for calculation of PV ratio, we used to say that change in profits by change in sales into 100. So already we know the break-even. Break-even means fixed cost by PV ratio, we are able to get the break-even. So the first one is to calculate the break-even point. First we want to get the fixed cost by PV ratio. So in the question, we didn't have any information relating to the fixed cost, variable cost, maybe relating to the other. So that's why we ourselves has to calculate. So for that, first we calculate PV ratio for the change in profits by change in sales. So change in profits means current year profits minus last year profits. So when we have been identified at 2000, what is the profits of current year? 15,000. And what is the 23,000, and what is the last year profit? It is 15. So current year is the present year. So what we'll call like 21 is the 2001 is the current year and last year was 2000 is the previous year. 2000 year was the previous and current is the 2001. So the profits given is 23,000 as the current year and 2000 year profits was 15 and we are able to get 8,000. That is change in profits was 8,000. So when I want to take the sales also the same way, current year profits and last year profit. Current year profits means this year, that is present year, that is 2001 and last year means 2000. When we have seen that the current year profits is 1,20,000 and the last year profit is 1 lakh. So here when you have seen these 1,20,000 minus 1 lakh rupees and we are getting the change in sales as 20,000 rupees. So when you want to go for the change in sales for 20,000 rupees, then we has to see the calculation of PV ratio, which is change in profits by change in sales into 100. Already by calculating we got change in profits is maybe like 8,000 and sales change in sales was 20,000 into 100. We are able to get 40%. Means here the PV ratio equal to 40%. So beyond this, what is the main theme of calculating the PV ratio means to get a break-even point. So when I want to calculate this BEP, I require fixed cost by PV ratio. But we don't have the fixed cost here. So to calculate the fixed cost, we have another formula like current year sales into PV ratio minus current year profits. Current year means what I said, it is 2001. Previous year means 2000, means last year. So 2001 sales into 40% of previous year minus this year, current year 2001 profit. So as we know, the sales of is 1,20,000 and 23 is the profits. So 1,20,000 into 40%, we has to see the PV ratio. So for the PV ratio, it is 40%, that is 40 by 100 minus what is the current year profits means 20,000, 23,000. So 48,000 minus 23, we are getting 25,000 as fixed cost. So for fixed cost, we are able to identify the 25,000 by taking the help of current year sales and the current year profits with PV ratio. Then now we go for calculation of break-even point, which is fixed cost by PV ratio. Already we have fixed cost of 25,000 and we achieved a PV ratio of 40%, which we can say that 25,000 into 40% or 100 by 40, we are getting BEP at 62,500. So we have been completed the first question asking that what is break even. So to calculate the break even, first we calculated the PV ratio. So for this type of problem where 2 years sales and profits were given, we are able to have the calculation like to calculate BEP, fixed cost by PV ratio. To calculate PV ratio, we require change in profits by change in sales into 100. To calculate the change in profits or change in sales, we have another formula like change in profits minus is equal to current year profits minus last year profits. So the fresh year is called as current year and last year we'll call it as a before year. By taking those two, we calculated the PV ratio. So as the after calculation with the formula of PV ratio, no fixed cost is given. For that also we will use then another formula like current year sales into PV ratio minus current year profits. The same we will follow here also. Current means the present year and previous year is the last year. So with that you are able to calculate 25,000 as a PV fixed cost, and this 20,000 divided by this 40% of PV ratio, we are getting 62,500 as break-even point. And another question we have is, we require to calculate the sales required to earn a profit of 20,000. If organization has to earn 20,000 rupees, so how much sales does organization has to be done? As we have the fixed cost PV ratio and also the desired profit. As we have fixed cost calculated in the above is 25,000 and we have PV ratio as it was 40% which we calculated. So what is the desired profit given is the 20,000. So for estimation of the sales to get a profit of 20,000, so fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. That is 25,000 is the fixed cost and 20,000, that we can say like 45,000 divided by 40%, which means 100 by 40, we are able to get the desired sales is 1,12,500. So if we want to get an additional profit of 20,000, organization has to sell the volume of the goods is 1,12,500. So this will call it as a required sales to earn a profit of 20,000. And another question given here is relating to the profit when sales are 1,25,000. Means what happens? The above given is given profit, given want to identify the sales. Now what they are telling, they identified the sales. They give that the sales is 1,25,000. Then what amount of the profit does organization will get? So for that we have a formula in order to estimate the profits. So that profits may be the desired sales into PV ratio minus fixed cost. So what is desired sales here? 1,25,000 into what is our profit volume ratio? 40%. PV ratio is the 40% minus already we calculated 25,000 as a fixed cost. That is 1,20,000 into 40 by 100. You are able to get 50,000 and 50,000 minus 25,000. We are getting 25,000. So when you want to sell 1,25,000 sales and the profit we will receive is the 25,000. So this is profit estimated for sale of 1,25,000 will be 25,000. So in this way, we can solve the problem once which was given another information relating to the variable cost, fixed cost, and gave information between to the two periods. Maybe this first quarter, second quarter, or the first year, second year, or 2000 or 2001. If information was splitted between the sales and the profit, we'll calculate the break-even sales PV ratio and this above format. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.